I forgot to give Alan my notes because he said everything I was going to say about Michigan State, the team, and fortunately I have two pockets. So all I would really say, I want to keep it short. I need a favor from you. If I'm dreaming, let me finish. But I have some things I'd like to say before I wake up. I want to congratulate the other inductees tonight. Very deserving. Welcome to the highest honor that Michigan State athletics can bestow upon an athlete. 60 years is a long time. A lot of things happen. A lot of people who helped make all of what you've heard about happen are no longer with us. And I'd like you to join us for a moment of silence for those who are not with us. Thank you. Now, needless to say, Clinton and I are honored to be here to celebrate our 1965-1966 back-to-back national championship football teams. Honoring our entire team with the Hall of Fame induction has never been done before. You've heard it. We're happy to be the first teams inducted into our hall. It took a lot of effort from a lot of people, too many to mention, but my hat is off to Alan for having the perseverance to see this through, having the courage to get the job done, and obviously we appreciate his effort. There were many, many people who supported our effort, but it was still a nearly impossible task. I don't want to get into mentioning names because there's too many to mention, and as you know, somebody would get forgotten. But I do want to mention two names, Mickey Pasteur and Kate Sauter, and they've been mentioned. I'd like at least the 65-66 teams, but please, all of you join in with a big round of applause. And you can wake me up in a few minutes, but I want to hear what Clint has to say. This has been a wonderful, wonderful experience. I've been in front of a crowd with Clinton before, but it was a lot of years ago, and I always enjoyed his approach.
Good evening. A great philosopher that I had the experience to be mentored by said, when you're giving a speech, speak loud so people can hear you, stand tall so they can see you, and sit down so they'll like you. I don't want to disappoint you, but I'm not going to do that tonight. I hope you brought your sleeping bags. No, but this evening as Steve so eloquently spoke about, it's about appreciation. And first of all, I want to give appreciation to my mother, who had me May 24th, 1945, the end of World War II, and she's only 15 years old, and my dad, who's a 19-year-old Ohio State track star, debonair gentleman. How can we ever repay the debt of gratitude to our parents for being born human beings? That's where it all starts. We don't give enough credit to our mothers, our sisters, and the women who really do the heavy lifting, even for this event to take place. Just like Steve talked about Kate, and the women behind the scenes. It's very difficult dealing with football players. We have issues. And my deep appreciation goes out to all those people that supported us in 65 and 66. And I have to mention you 6 inductees, congratulations, you've earned it. And I know you know, like I know, in our 65 and 66 team, it's a team effort. It's not about Clinton Jones. It's not about the iconic 5 player that's been shown over and over again. This is a night about we. It's not about the I. It's a we that accomplish anything great. And it's important to win. And what we accomplished in 1965 and 66 was unprecedented because we had people coming from different paradigms, coming together, a band of brothers, and who I came to love and would give my life for. And that was the foundation for my life, going from the gridiron at Michigan State in the stadium, Spartan Stadium, to the gridiron of life. And I carried it all the way to this present moment. There are so many people that have contributed to our Spartan nation and to Spartan will. And so some people may say, oh, why did it take so long? Nothing in the whole universe happens by accident. We're here at this moment because what we have at this moment is the most important thing for our country and the world. This is the biggest Polish wedding that I've ever attended. So here we are together, and we're celebrating and acknowledging our 6 inductees and our 65 and 66 teams. But I want to share with you one of my heroes on my team named Pat Gallinaw, who's not able to be here tonight. He's alive, fortunately. He lives in the UP, but he couldn't come because he had to stay with his wife who has an illness, and he didn't want to leave her for 3 days because the time to come here by car or plane is the same amount of time. It would take 3 days. So being the person that he is, when we found out that we were being inducted, my wife, Rosalie Jones, said, you know what, Pat, you have to write a poem about your team. Now, many of you might not know Pat Gallinaw, but he came from the Catholic school football tradition in Detroit. And Pat could be a pain in the ass every day. And the coaches tried to get rid of him, but Pat would give you not 100 plus, he would give you 200 plus. And he wound up being part of that team. And this is a poem that he wrote I want to share with you. It's called A Beacon for All Spartans to Follow by Pat Gallinaw, member of both the 1965 and 1966 teams. The 1965 and 66 Spartan football teams are arguably the best in the history of Michigan State. But it was not just their gridiron accomplishments that made them remarkably great. On the way to 2 Big Ten and national championships, they dispelled the racist myths and helped tear down the crumbling walls of segregation, as will be told forthwith. They were the first two Spartan teams to play 10-game regular seasons, and the last two Spartans to go through the regular season undefeated for these reasons. They had lots of talent of this, but there's no doubt. But what was overshadowed by the teamwork, which carried lots of clout. The schedule was brutal, but they never blinked an eye. They accepted the challenge eagerly, and victory was their battle cry. The non-conference foes were powerhouses that stretched from coast to coast, and some pundits predicted the Spartans would wind up being toast. In '65, UCLA, Penn State, and Notre Dame were tough and worthy foes, but the Spartans handled each and sent them home with lots of woes. In '66, they traded the Bruins for North Carolina State, along with all their Big Ten rivals. They finished the season undefeated and claimed back-to-back national titles. But their actions on the field would pale to the contribution to civil rights. They proved that a fully integrated football team could win all the big game fights, that a white majority could elect and follow two black captains, and that a black quarterback can handle the pressure and adverse reactions. Not everyone was happy when Duffy named Jimmy Ray to start, but Jimmy answered his critics and naysayers with all his soul and heart. He proved that talent and determination can trump privilege and race, and he led the Spartans to an undefeated season that was not matched in time or space. These two teams fought with tenacity and courage against great odds, and neither Mother Nature nor opponents could upset the football gods. They played in scorching heat, frigid winds, and pouring rain, and against both their opponents and the elements, victory did proclaim. It is only fitting that these two teams are the first to be inducted into our Hall of Fame. They helped pave the way for other changes that needed to be made. So as we contemplate this honor, let us remember all of those who have passed. They helped make our teams a beacon for other Spartans to follow in our path. To date, no Spartan football teams has matched our records or our fame. That stands there as an incentive for future Spartans teams to surpass and proudly claim. But perhaps our most significant accomplishment was not the final score, but in helping make America a better place and helping our ideals to restore. Thank you.